The president says he did not sign it, so I take the president at his word.
I trust what the president said.
What do you know? There it is. In addition to the creepy Our Shared Secret Naked Woman References to Never Aging document from Epstein's birthday book, Epstein's estate also today handed over to Congress this photo in which Epstein, who you see on the right there, is holding a big novelty check for $22,500. It is a check that is made to look like it is from Trump to Epstein. What in the history of the United States of America, for anybody in any position of public trust, approximates the level of repulsiveness that Donald Trump brings to the presidency with this trailing behind him like a snail trail?
Well, it appears that MSNBC's Rachel Maddow is really getting under that orange layer. See, in her latest segment, she tore into Trump's denials, going as far to call the birthday letter that Trump denies as, quote, ferociously creepy and suspicious, before asking what in presidential history even approximates a scandal this disgusting. Very good question. And pointed out how Trump sued the Wall Street Journal and his fellow billionaire bigot Rupert Murdoch for reporting its existence, only for the full note complete with the sketch and signature to emerge. And if forgery is their best defense, it's a pretty bad one.
What do you know? There it is. The text apparently written by Donald Trump to child sex abuser Jeffrey Epstein, all written like on the body of a naked woman-ish. The president apparently describing a shared secret between him and Jeffrey Epstein, a bizarre reference to age, and, quote, certain things that the two men have in common. Yeah, okay. The White House today decided to claim that this is not really from Donald Trump, that this is clearly, in their words, not his signature on this document. Pretty immediately, other examples were obtained of President Trump signing his first name in various contexts right around that time. And the signature from those other uncontested signatures of his, I don't know, looks pretty exactly the same.
MSNBC host took aim at the administration again following a segment last month in which she revealed that even MAGA-aligned AI bots were short-circuiting, unable to reconcile with Trump's ever-shifting narrative about the Epstein files. Maddow spotlighted how pro-Trump bots that were programmed to echo MAGA messaging were malfunctioning. I mean, these bots literally were designed to echo a unified, unwavering MAGA stance, but they couldn't keep up with Trump's evolving excuses, which poses a question, you know, when coding can't keep straight what the PR team can't, you know, there's an issue with the messaging across the board.
You know, one thing about this is, I presume someone who is expert can look at signatures and make these judgments. But secondly, it's a weird thing. What year was this?
You know, that's a great question. It was like about 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So 20 years ago, someone stuck this fraudulent piece in Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book. That seems like a weird thing. Someone who said, you know what, I think Donald Trump might be president someday. Let's just stick this in Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book.
And this week, Maddow dissected the newly surfaced Epstein birthday book in all its creepiness, including Trump's reportedly signed note featuring an explicit sketch. Now, Trump's repeated dismissals, calling reports a, quote, hoax or denying even drawing. But they're all collapsing under scrutiny, right? To the point that his digital echo chamber and even Fox News can't keep pace.
For instance, and looking at this from someone who also wants to win elections, I know that this is what Republicans want to talk about, and they're doing a great job of it, and they do it every election cycle, but it is not working. People know their grocery prices are high because of Donald Trump, not because of Zohran Mamdani. They are watching what's going on with the Epstein saga. They're watching what's going on with their healthcare premiums. And if Trump thinks he can run an election just saying, like, you know, socialism bad, it's not going to work out.
No, we're just going to run on your party saying socialism good.
Yeah, and that's what you've done before and lost elections on it. It is baked in now that you are going to say that one thing. If you don't also say, I have a plan to fix the things that I promised on day one that I would.
None of your data merits trust.
And you tell.
And as I've discussed time and time again, right? Part of the chaos stems from how often the Trump administration's Epstein narrative has changed. I mean, at one point, Pam Bondi insisted that she had Epstein-related files on her desk. I mean, more recently, Speaker Mike Johnson went as far to claim it was an FBI informant against Epstein, before then walking it back with a sore wrist. And we've just accepted that he lied? I mean, why would he lie about that? Where did he get that information?
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
What I was referring to in that long conversation was what the victim's attorney said. More than a decade ago, President Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago. And he was one of the only people, one of the only prominent people, as everyone has reported, not President Trump, but everybody about him, that he was willing to help law enforcement go after this guy who's a disgusting child abuser, sex trafficker, all the allegations. That's what they heard. So the president was helpful in that. I don't know if I use the right terminology, but that's common knowledge and everybody knows that. So this is much ado about nothing.
Was he ever asked to wear a wire or anything like that?
I have no idea. No, I'm not saying that. I have no information about that whatsoever. I was repeating what has been common knowledge for a long time. The president was helpful in trying to get Epstein, for law enforcement to go after Epstein. That's always been my understanding. That's common knowledge. It's the public's understanding. I was not breaking news there.
And now Caroline Leavitt is just categorically denying all of it, saying that Trump's only involvement was banning Epstein from Mar-a-Lago.
You know, Mike Johnson, he came out and said that the president was an FBI informant. Do you know what he meant by that, if it's not true?
I can affirm that is not true. I think the speaker was referring to the fact that President Trump kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago property.
It's a storyline that literally mutates with every news cycle and information released, which has only galvanized the quest of Democrats to ask simply, where are the entire files? I mean, if you're as innocent as you claim, Donald, then let it all out and let the public decide.
The president doesn't want you to focus on things such as his involvement with the Epstein files. You see, the president doesn't want you to focus on things that he promised on the campaign trail, such as to lower costs for the American people. The president doesn't want you to focus on his failed secretary of HHS and the fact that we know almost 100 children thus far have died from something like measles. He doesn't want you to focus on the things that truly matter to the American people that are trying to survive now. Instead, again, he wants to divide and distract.
But the thing is, they won't, because they've already lost the public approval on this matter. Poll after poll shows that Trump is already drastically underwater on this very issue. A Reuters Ipsos survey found that 69% of Americans believe that Trump is hiding information about Epstein, with his approval on the issue plummeting to just 17%. I mean, that's the lowest of any policy area, which, you know, he's pretty underwater on most.
Look at the issues. Look at this. These are all the key issues. Donald Trump is underwater on all of them. Trade, obviously, tariffs have been a big thing at the bottom of your list, minus 17 points. The economy, which was the reason he was elected to his second term to fix the economy, way underwater at minus 14 points. Foreign policy, minus 12. And then I think, Mr. John Berman, the key two issues at the top, because these have been Donald Trump's strongest issues, crime and immigration. But get this. He is now underwater on both of these issues, if barely, but he's underwater on crime at minus 2, immigration at minus 3. On all the key issues, he is again swimming with the fishes. Consistency across the board.
Even 1/4 of his own 2024 voters said that they'd reconsider supporting him if new Epstein ties emerge. And when Maddow's coverage amplifies these doubts, it shines a light on Trump's biggest issue on the matter, trustworthiness. And listen, let's be frank, Joe. What gives Trump blanket immunity with his base? The fact that he's a rich white dude. That's it. Just imagine for a second, Obama was seen on video, right? Pointing to a young girl at a party with a known pedophile, saying to him, she's hot. And it was unveiled that you sent a birthday card to said pedophile. Would Republicans be arguing over the signature or just completely dismissing it? I mean, these are the people that wanted the man impeached for wearing a tan suit. So while Trump keeps rewriting the story, the digital chorus is laughing it off and can't keep up. and then freezing, while even his most staunch supporters have just had enough. The president's ridiculous rhetoric on a matter has aligned the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Robert Garcia, a pair that often trade blow after blow on the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's really interesting to hear the gentle lady from Georgia speak about Hunter Biden leaving, and she is the person that showed nude photos of Hunter Biden in this very committee room, showing dick pics in this committee room of Hunter Biden. I have my 5 minutes, gentle lady. And so I think it's really ironic, hypocritical, quite shameful that the person is complaining about somebody leaving when she's showing nude photos of him to this committee, showing nude photos of him to this committee in this very room. And you also talk about decorum. You're talking about January 6th. Ms. Green, I was there with you when we went to the January 6th jail, and when you were hugging, high-fiving, talking to, and providing so much comfort and joy to the insurrectionists that attacked our Capitol.
Well, first, just to be very clear, Donald Trump and the president, not only is this issue not dead, it's not a hoax, but we're also just getting started. And so we have an enormous amount of work ahead of us. We've been talking to victims. We've been, of course, meeting with representatives of the survivors. We now, of course, got this book released. And there's a lot more information ahead of us for our committee to actually not just investigate, but to review. And so later this week, we will have a team from the Oversight Committee in New York looking at all of the Epstein estate materials, because what's really important is that any redactions that are currently in place, like you've obviously shown some redactions already, we have to verify those on the actual documents to make sure that what's not being redacted is somehow pertinent to our investigation, or that somehow those that have caused the violence and the rape and the suffering are somehow being protected. And so
today he called it a hoax, while these women were speaking out and they were saying, we're not a hoax. We're human beings. And I think we need to see something turn around there.
You know,
and I'll say this here.
He can prove it's a hoax by releasing it. Let us decide if it's a hoax or not. I mean,
anyone that is being abused, it is not your fault. You should live with no guilt or fear or shame. All of the fault belongs to the evil people that do these things to the innocent. This is the most important fight we can wage here in Congress, is fighting for innocent people that never receive justice. And the women behind me have never received justice.
You know that narrative is falling apart, and Trump is coming apart at the seams.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.